Feedback Friday is brought to you by ProWrestlingTees.com, your destination for all the hottest wrestling t-shirts at low prices with super fast shipping. ProWrestlingTees.com also houses the full line of PWR merchandise in the PWR shop, along with other tees from your favorite wrestling stars. Head to ProWrestlingTees.com after the show to see the latest merchandise lineup.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the return of PWR Feedback Friday, brought to you by ProWrestlingTees.com. Damian Nelson sitting here alongside David Hero. David, how are you here on a Friday?
I love Fish Fry Friday. This is my favorite
Good, I'm
show
glad
of the
you're
week.
able to do that this evening because it is currently Feedback Friday, where we take feedback electronically from our viewing audience.
Why? They don't know what they want or what they like. We have to tell them.
Let's get right to it, ladies and gentlemen, and go to your first comment of the week, which was left on our YouTube channel, where many of you watch the show. This is a YouTube user by the name of D-Night Walker, who had some comments on Impact Wrestling. He says, and I quote, "I used to follow TNA, but stopped watching around 2011 because I was disappointed with the product they were producing. This week, I decided to give TNA a chance after hearing good things about their last couple of shows. I'm happy I did. I enjoyed the show, and I'm looking forward to next week's Impact Wrestling. While watching this show, I cannot help but remember what Al Snow said on this show back in March of this year about characters and how the business hasn't changed. I have to admit that he was absolutely right. The show is so much better when it has believable characters that you can connect with and storylines that are easy to follow but fun to enjoy. If this is what TNA is going to be from now on, I can see myself tuning in every week."
How about that? An internet wrestling community fan enjoying a TNA Impact Wrestling segment.
Why do you have to label them? It's just a fan who chooses to watch us on the internet.
No, but they're a huge audience. And that's what they like to be called, the IWC.
What do you like to be categorized and called?
I'm always categorized as brilliant, handsome, charming, adorable.
Impact Wrestling last night from New York City.
Yes.
The Manhattan Center. It happened.
It did.
Dixie Carter.
She got
Finally.
wood. She got wood.
Gets put through a table by Bully Ray last night on Impact Wrestling. This was the, I believe, final episode of their current set of TNA Impact Wrestling tapings in New York.
Yes.
Where they were also taping this past Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday in New York.
Yes.
For their next series of shows, and they were going back to New York in September.
Well, maybe. Because right now they have enough TV contact to get them through October 1st.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
Oh. Well, they've got to figure something out after that.
Well, yeah. So they might not go
where
back.
It's going to air.
They might not go back in September.
He mentioned Al Snow. Al Snow, a big part of that 8-man Monsters Ball match. Well, tomorrow night.
It's not a Monsters Ball.
You sure it wasn't?
It was not.
Oh, Full Metal Street
it was
Mayhem,
a hardcore match, yes.
lumberjack rules match?
Yes.
Al Snow, a big part of that match, a surprise in New York last night on Impact Wrestling. Tomorrow night on this very show, PWR, Al Snow will be our guest right here in studio, and he's going to talk about that matchup. And I think he'll be a little surprised as to what he says the significance of that match was for him.
Yes.
That tomorrow night on PWR Primetime Saturday night. Now, the next comment comes to us from Twitter. Of course, you know you can follow us on Twitter, at PWR Show on Twitter. Also, each of us individually, at Damian Nelson, at... What's your name on Twitter?
David Hero.
Oh, I thought you had some gimmick name. And, of course, at Linda K22.
Why is she 22?
Well, she's 22 now, but will she live to see 23?
Oh, good question. I don't know.
She's living in the gangster's paradise.
Yes, she is.
It's 23-24, I know, but I changed it.
Okay.
What
do you mean by gangster's paradise?
It's a song by Coolio and Maya, I believe.
I thought you meant, is it Maya? Mia? She was cute back in the day. I remember.
Are you saying she's not now?
I don't know what she
looks
looks
like.
like.
Debrat? Do you think Debrat is still cute?
It depends on the setting for Debrat. Like if she is in Miami, she could be.
At one Mr_E says, and this is for you, at David Hero, how long should a good promo last?
A good promo should last as long as the audience, the crowd is into it. Once the audience or crowd loses interest, that's when you take it home.
How do you know when they lost interest?
You can tell.
How can you tell?
There's a buzz, there's a feedback. You can tell if they start doing stupid chants, whatever else. Exactly.
What?
Like that.
What?
Annoying.
What? Is that really an annoying chant, or is it fans' symbolization of boredom, or is it fans wanting to be involved?
They want to be involved, and they are hoping that the talent in the ring can participate back with them.
They want acknowledgement.
Yes, that's what everybody wants. Everyone is an attention whore.
I'm sorry, but I would rather you not call our viewers whores.
Have you seen some of them?
Apparently not the same ones you have.
You should get on Twitter more often.
On Twitter, at BMJohnson969 asked the following. The fans have faith in this company, and we know they will make it. The question is, what does Impact Wrestling do next? This, of course, coming off the heels of last week's story on Primetime about the dissension or the challenges between Spike TV and Impact Wrestling with the renewal of their television broadcast.
You know, I would like TNA Impact Wrestling to keep Impact on the road on Thursdays.
On the road again.
The problem with that is, you know, the Manhattan Center seats about 1,200 people.
Sure.
So it's about the same size building as what we have Blizzard Brawl with.
Yes.
But you can't go back to that building 3 times every month.
Why not?
Eventually the fans it won't become special anymore. So they're going to have to think of some other creative ways to get on the road.
It may not be special, but is it regular enough? I mean, ECW worked in the same building for how many years? Several.
That was a different audience.
Wrestling Territories worked in the same buildings in the same city weekly for years.
Right, but it was a different time. You didn't have 300
I just heard wrestling hasn't changed.
It hasn't changed, but you didn't have 300 cable channels back then.
NXT works.
It's a different audience. I do not think NXT would draw the same ratings as TNA Impact if they were on television.
Yeah, they would. WWE can't do any less than 1.5 million people for any show they put on TV.
I don't think NXT could draw a 1.4 rating.
Really?
Yes.
You haven't watched NXT except for the initial special that they did.
I just don't think so. Here's why. TNA Impact Wrestling has bigger stars than NXT does. And they can only do a 1.4.
But they don't have the promotional machine behind them that is World Wrestling Entertainment.
Okay. Well, you know what? We'll never find out because NXT.
I think we might.
You think NXT is going to wind up on a network channel?
Wouldn't be surprised.
I don't think so.
Really?
Because they need them on their own network for the subscriptions. Mm-hmm. If you take that show off the network and put it on regular television,
the show that no one's going to watch on regular television.
Yeah, you're losing money.
And you've lost me.
They need content. They need content on the network.
We'll talk about the network tomorrow night on
I want to talk about it now.
Primetime. Well, we don't have time. I don't know if you've seen these flashcards being shown to you, but they are indicating that we are currently over time.
Oh, all right. Don't
so
get
we
hot.
definitely
Pump
want
the
to
brakes.
thank all of you for
you've changed.
joining us here on
We're done?
Feedback Friday.
That's all the feedback we got?
You know, you've made...
How about our exclusive last week?
You've made some entrances here on this program that mimic a certain former WWE superstar. If you keep it up, your exit will mimic that.
So you want me to slap you, is what you're saying?
I am on-air talent, so you'd have to slap Andrew.
No.
Or Linda. Oh, Linda's on-air talent.
Linda likes being slapped.
We'll see you tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen, on Primetime for that one. This is Damian Nelson saying thank you for tuning in. Remember, tomorrow night, Al Snow is our guest.